Hello again everybody, this is Gusto, and I have another review today. Last week I reviewed a long-range patrol ration from 1976 to 1979, which was the scalloped potatoes with pork. And I'm going to continue my long-range patrol ration series today, but I'm going to do a modern ration that I think is from around 2013, but we'll find the dates when we break into it. This will be another installment in a pretty broad series of long-range patrol rations. I've recently obtained some older ones, as well as a full case of the 1998 rations, as well as a full case of the modern long-range patrol rations. And these, for me, are kind of exciting. I really like the freeze-dried food aspect of these, and they're a little different, and they're kind of fun. So I'm going to get to reviewing a whole bunch in a series. And I'm actually going to do some direct comparisons of the different years of those rations as I get into this series, so stay tuned for that. But at any rate, let's go ahead and get to tonight's review. And the ration I'll be reviewing tonight is Food Packet Long Range Patrol, Menu Number 6 Seafood Chowder. Menu Number 6 is one that I haven't seen reviewed on YouTube. Certainly it could be out there, but I haven't seen it. So if you have seen it, I'm sorry for the duplication, but let's get into this thing anyway. So the long-range patrol ration is developed out of a necessity to reduce weight, and therefore is easier to carry for a long distance. However, the drawback to that is you have to carry more water, or have a supply of water for reconstitution of the dry products. So all the contents in the LRP is going to be freeze-dried or dry packed to conserve weight again. So these are fairly similar to the meal cold weather, which have similar contents and are also freeze-dried out of necessity to prevent freezing of the contents. So let's break into this packet. As you can see, the outer wrapping is the similar material to the standard MRE. The bag looks to be a little bit bigger, but it's the same material, has a peelable seal, and it is packaged by the Warnick Company. There's no external date code that I can see on this package, so I'm sure we'll get to the accurate date on the inside on the contents. Ooh, peelable seal failure. But that's no bother. I have a MRE knife. This is one that I got at my buddy's survival gear shop here in Tulsa. And he's got a website. It's greenbeetlegear.com, and you can check out his channel called Green Beetle. Alright, so there's the contents of this thing. We've got our entree, which is the freeze-dried seafood chowder. This is packaged by Oregon Freeze-Dried, and they are the parent company for Mountain House, and I've mentioned that before. The old ration that we did before was packaged by Right Away Foods, and I think Oregon Freeze-Dried has been the supplier for the military freeze-dried ration since about 1980. And the rest of the contents here. We have shortbread cookies, smoked almonds, it's the accessory pack, nut fruit mix, vegetable crackers, and a beverage-based powder lemon lime. Standard MRE spoon. The accessory pack as typical with the long-range patrol rations, has 2 toilet papers, there's our gum, coffee, creamer, matches, salt, Tabasco sauce, a moist towelette, and sugar. So first things first, let's get the seafood chowder reconstituted, and I'll get everything else out on tray. This calls for 16 ounces of hot water. We'll stir that up and let it sit for a little while to reconstitute. So the last modern freeze-dried entree that I opened, I learned a little bit of a lesson, which was to try not to tear it open from the top, or rather cut it with a knife so that I can maintain the package. So it has a tear notch right there, but last time I tried to tear it from there, I split it all the way down the side and I couldn't hold the water in the package, so I'm going to cut it with a knife. Big hiss as that air gets back in there. I don't know if you could hear that or not. I'm going to open the package. And there you can see the contents there. You have some cubes of potatoes and it looks like some vegetables in there. If I smell it, it actually has a little bit of fishy smell to it, which is usually these freeze-dried entrees don't have much scent to them. There's your contents if you can read it. It's kind of hard to read. It looks like it contains cooked clams and clam juice, always delicious, potatoes, cream, onions, non-fat dry milk, Pacific shrimp, celery. Let's see, it has butter, salt, yeast extract, and a bunch of other stuff in there. So you can read the contents if you're really interested. Nutritional information. This contains 580 calories, so that's very dense. There's a lot of food in there once it's reconstituted. Again, this says to add 16 ounces of water. Now, most of these you kind of want to underfill a little bit, otherwise they'll be mushy. But this is supposed to be a soup, so I'm gonna go right to 16 ounces. That's about 8 ounces. Getting close there. A little less than 16 ounces. It's very hot. So go ahead and mix this up kind of gently so I don't break up the potatoes like I did in the last review that I did. Be real gentle, but I'm gonna kind of get down to those corners so it doesn't get stuck in there. So there you go. It's kind of reconstituting. It smells good. It smells like a clam chowder. Very, very good smell. Okay. Now this is a little bit too big to fit inside the skull, so I'm just gonna kind of fold it over like that. Hope it stays. I think I'm gonna use the clip on the knife to kind of, or on the knife sheath, to hold it together. Let's set it over there. Yeah. Resourcefulness is always good. Let's get the rest out on a tray. Alright, so we'll start with crackers. Let's see if we can get a good hiss here. Yeah. I hope you heard the hiss on the entree. It was pretty remarkable when all the air was rushing back in there. It was very well vacuum packed. So there's the vegetable crackers. You see they have a lot more of the coarse texture to them. The granulated vegetables in there, that the ingredients say that those vegetables are onions and celery and red bell peppers, green bell peppers, things like that. They smell a lot better than the regular crackers. They actually have a nice veggie smell to them. There's smoked almonds. Nut fruit mix. That's kind of nice looking. It's got some pieces of dried fruit in there, some raisins, sunflower seeds. Those are shortbread cookies. They're broken up pretty bad. They're really obliterated. Don't eat that. Let's go ahead and mix our beverages. Once I got some hot water on hand, I'll go ahead and mix the coffee. Alright, so I've got the Cafe Diario instant coffee. Looks alright. Sugar, non-dairy creamer, some hot water. Give that a good stir. Certainly mixing up a lot better than the old ones. Still not great, but we'll give it some time and it'll be just fine. For the lemon lime beverage base, it's in one of the shaker bags. Those are nice. It's a little bit easier to mix. Got a tear notch at the top. Get that open. And this calls for 12 ounces of water. It's right up to the line. Squeeze the extra air out and seal it up. And give it a good hearty shake. Try not to make a mess. Oh man, I never succeeded not making a mess. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes, which is what the package says to do on the seafood chowder. Let's go ahead and get it opened up and plated. So it is well reconstituted. It's not as thin as it was. Actually, I may add a little bit more water. I'm going to give it one more stir and see what it looks like. Oh, that's not bad. That looks pretty good. So, didn't get too thick. It's also not too runny. So it looks like everything is pretty well reconstituted, and I will get it on the tray. Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty full. Leave the rest there. Yeah, that smells really good. Doesn't smell overly fishy. It's got some good chunks of what looks like clams in there. Potatoes have held together really well. Some celery and vegetables. This is going to go really well with some crunched up crackers and some Tabasco sauce to spice it up. But we'll give it a shot by itself here in a second. Go ahead and go around the tray. This looks like a pretty good spread. So for the main entree, let's see if we can get some of the shrimp and the clams, some potatoes and vegetables in there. So as for the detail, yeah, it's dripping all over my hand, but I'm just trying to give you a good shot there. It's actually a lot less salty than I expected. I may actually need to add some salt to that. That's surprising. It actually smells a little bit more salty and savory than it is, but it's actually got a great flavor. The texture of the potatoes is really nice. Good flavor on the seafood elements. Everything is very well reconstituted. You can taste the vegetables in there. The celery has a decent crunch to it, actually. It's very surprising and actually pretty typical for the freeze-dried foods that I've had from Oregon freeze-dried in the form of Mountain House. It's always good stuff, but we'll work on that entree a little bit more. Put some Tabasco and some crackers in there a little bit later. Let's get to everything else. I'll try the crackers here. Vegetable crackers are I like them a lot better than the plain crackers because they just seem like they have a better crunch to them. Definitely more flavor with all of those granulated vegetables in it. It's just a much more pleasing texture, just better flavor to it. A lot less like cardboard than the regular crackers. Alright, so for the almonds, these are the roasted almonds, or the at least roasted flavor, spoke flavor on those. Nice and crunchy. Smoky roasted flavor, very pleasing, very nice. For the nut mix, try to get a little bit of everything. That looks like just raisins and I'm not sure what that is. Actually, the ingredients show that those are dried cherries. They also list dried blueberries and sunflower seeds, walnuts, peanuts. Cool. Let's see if we can find a blueberry in there too. Yeah. Blueberries, almond, peanut, like walnuts. Good variety of ingredients there. And that's delicious. I love dried fruit, so that really appeals to me. Let's go with the beverages. Here's our lemon lime beverage. Nice citrus flavor. It mixes up a lot better when you have it in the shaker bag. Mix up your coffee. The coffee from the 1976 to 1979 was one of the most bitter things I've ever tasted, but this smells a lot better. Still a little bit on the bitter side, but not bad. Alright, so let's crunch up some vegetable crackers, put a little bit of salt in the chowder, maybe a little Tabasco sauce, that would be nice. Oh, a little carried away. Let's go. I like things spicy, so Tabasco, yes please. Oh yeah. It makes me happy. And maybe a little bit of salt. Now the Tabasco will have a little bit of saltiness to it, but let's add a little bit of salt anyway. Mix it up a little bit. Give it another taste. Bunch of clams in there, vegetables. Yeah, that's really nice with a little bit of spiciness to it. Very good. A little bit more texture with the crackers. Yeah, that's really good. Dressed up a little bit more. That looks pretty good. I like that a lot. Again, not overly fishy. It's got a really good balanced texture to it with the potatoes in there. The seafood elements are pretty soft and flavorful. I would compare it to a good like canned seafood chowder. Very enjoyable. I like this one a lot. I'm gonna eat some more. Yep, that's good. I have a feeling I'm gonna wipe that out here in just a minute when I get off camera. We'll finish that with a little bit of dessert with our cookies. These smell like the shortbread cookies, the Girl Scout cookies that are going around like crazy. Really try to avoid those things, but it's just so hard. Yep, tastes just the same as the shortbread cookies from the Girl Scouts. Very tasty. Alright, so that has been the first in the installments of the modern LRPs, menu number 6 seafood chowder. It's very fun at opening these things. I really like the freeze-dried rations. They're just a little bit more unusual, but I do have a whole lot more coming, including a whole bunch of international rations. I know I keep saying that, but eventually I'm going to get to them all, so a lot of really interesting ones. So, as always, thank you all very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you to all of my fellow reviewers that have provided me good feedback and support along the way. I just can't say thank you enough. I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.